if she chose to tell the truth, she very well may be in a position to shed light on the involvement of other.
Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted socialite and associate of the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is due to testify tomorrow in front of the congressional committee examining the Epstein files. Her legal team are warning that she will likely take the Fifth Amendment, her right not to incriminate herself, unless she is granted legal immunity. In the past, Ghislaine Maxwell has reached out to the Trump administration in search of a pardon or a commutation of her sentence. Well, let's speak to Mitchell Epner, who was U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, leading in sex trafficking cases. Hello to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Given what I've just been saying, is there much point in having this session with Ghislaine Maxwell this week?
Well, if you could trust Ghislaine Maxwell and her legal team, then no. But Ghislaine Maxwell has proven herself over the last 20 years to be an inveterate liar and a person who will say whatever serves her at any particular moment. So I would not be certain that she, in fact, will decline to answer questions on the basis of the Fifth Amendment tomorrow. She may not. Who knows?
She's been tried and sentenced. So what is the purpose of this committee hearing from her?
Well, the purpose of the committee hearing is that there are scores, maybe hundreds of additional individuals who have been identified in the recently released 3.5 million pages from the Maxwell files, so the Epstein files. So she was there for all of it. She was his partner in crime. She was his confederate. And if she chose to tell the truth, she very well may be in a position to shed light on the involvement of other people, such as, for example, Jess Staley.
Do you think, though, that there is any likelihood of further prosecutions relating to association with Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, people have pointed out that people like former Prince Andrew and Peter Mandelson in this country have suffered because of their reputational damage, if you like. That doesn't seem to have happened to the same extent in the United States.
Well, first of all, the Prince formerly known as Andrew, or the Andrew formerly known as Prince, has not suffered at all. He's living in a smaller castle now. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept that. There is every possibility in the United States as a technical matter that there could be future prosecutions once the Trump regime has moved on from power, because there is no statute of limitations for these crimes. And Peter Mandelson is a different story. From everything that I've seen, he is a person who appears to have exercised poor judgment in choosing to help Jeffrey Epstein, which would make him morally culpable. But he is not a person who is alleged to have raped women, which puts him in a very different position than Andrew Windsor.
Although it has to be said, many people say the fact that he has paid such a heavy price actually shows that the establishment, the male-dominated establishment, doesn't really care about the women. Is that fair?
That's absolutely fair. From 2001 to 2004, I led these sorts of prosecutions in the District of New Jersey. And for the last 22 years since then, I have been an activist. And the extent to which the survivors have been demonized and the people who committed the crimes have been protected is astounding and sickening.
And you really feel that there's going to be no progress so long as Donald Trump is in the White House, do you? No legal progress?
Donald Trump is a person who has demonstrated that his only use for the Department of Justice is to forward his own personal agenda. He has destroyed a 250-year tradition of the independence of the United States Department of Justice. He very clearly does not see it in his personal benefit to allow these investigations and prosecutions to go forward, whether it's because of his own involvement, whether it's because of Melania's involvement, or whether it's because of the involvement, which we already clearly know about, of members of his cabinet. I don't know. I just am quite confident that Donald Trump is blocking any meaningful progress.
It's got to be said, not many people are saying that clearly in the United States. You're quite a brave man, aren't you?
Listen, I served with brave men. Many of the brave men and women are in the ground because of their bravery. What I do is nothing compared to that.
But do you feel under threat that you're like to face consequences for keeping this issue alive?
Well, my partners at Cudman Tract and Allo Posner and I have had the discussion that we refuse to be the good Germans who just go along with this regime. And if I face consequences, I will fight them, but I will do so knowingly and understanding that it's a possibility.
And just finally, on the basis of what we've seen and heard so far, do you think that Donald Trump himself is implicated in this whole affair?
Well, I recently heard, I haven't verified it myself, that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files not only more frequently than Lord Voldemort, whose name shall not be mentioned, is in the Harry Potter books, but more often than Harry Potter's name is in the Harry Potter books. It is very clear that Donald Trump did not end his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein when he claimed to have. Whether or not Donald Trump raped girls, I do not know, but it's a question that somebody other than Donald Trump should be asking.
Mitchell Epner, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.